Everybody, this is Mark Comfort along with my wife.
Mimi Comfort. You can't see me, but I'm here.
There she is. And we're not in Cancun, which is what's behind me, but I wish we were somewhere at some beautiful destination like that. And today's virtual extravaganza will be featuring the all-inclusive resorts with the companies that Mimi and I have chosen to be our preferred partners with. And most of these wonderful properties are open now. That is a blessing to be able to say. I had a chance to go to Cancun, to the Hyatt Ziva. Michelle, you were there.
Yep.
Fabulous experience. The safety protocols are in place, and they exceeded my expectations by a lot. So I want all of you that are watching this to know that from personal experience, and we've had several of our staff to go to different destinations, and primarily in Mexico at this point in time. We'll get to Jamaica, we'll get to the Dominican Republic shortly, but I want you to know the safety protocols are, it's never ever been safer and healthier to travel. And I was so impressed with literally the airports, the airplanes, the transfer companies that picked us up. When we got to the resort, they did all the things that you would hope they would do, i.e. your temperature and sanitize your shoes, bottom of your shoes and your hands. I tell you, I've never had cleaner hands in my entire life. So the reality is right now, it's different in different parts of, let's talk Mexico first, since I was just there, that the properties are not allowed to be full by design. Matter of fact, they started out at 30% capacity. So there's no easier and better way to social distance than having a resort, not very full, but that's by design. And I'll tell you what, the service was so fabulous. And everywhere we went, and everywhere any of our clients who have been to any of these all-inclusive resorts in Mexico, Dominican Republic, or Jamaica have said that the service is over the top because they're so glad to have their jobs back. They're so glad to have you there to be serving. And I can just tell you that take advantage of this. The one thing I do want to share with everybody, and Michelle, your company with Playa was so good at saying the same thing I'm ready to say is, we need a change in attitude, and there's nothing easier and better to get out of this negativity that we've been living in for 7 months than to get to a beautiful place on the beach. There's something about water that is so peaceful, whether it's the pool or whether it's the ocean. When you have the combination of both of those, and for us in the Midwest, when you have palm trees around the pools and the ocean, and somebody bringing you a adult beverage with a umbrella in it, that's your attitude changes really quick. And that's exactly what happened. I bet I was not there at the Hyatt for over an hour before I noticed and felt the attitude change mentally. And I know you all deserve that too. Now there are sale prices going on with this. So as we go through this, you'll hear all about that. And I would so strongly recommend you take advantage of these sale opportunities and book something together as a family or with your loved ones, whomever it might be, your friends, because again, until the resorts are allowed to be 100% full, there's not a lot of availability. So as the resorts fill up, the prices go up. So please understand that and take advantage of the deals now, because we don't look for very many deals in 2021 if you wait until the winter time to book. So you're wiser. The early bird gets the worm. You're wiser to make those decisions right now. There's all sorts of programs for risk-free, for it to be risk-free for you. Cassie will talk about the cancel for any reason insurance that we have available. But I've got to tell you, I was so impressed and with the service, with the health and safety protocols. And you're going to hear all about that today. So with that said, thank you all for joining us today. And I do appreciate you all. I look forward to getting Mimi and I, if she ever gets her passport back, to getting down to your properties very soon, and more importantly, getting our customers to your properties sooner than later. So Cassie, with that said, take it over. I've got to go hit the golf course. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you having us on. It's a fun way to do this. My name's Cassie Johnson. I'm one of the travel counselors here at Cruise Holidays. And alongside me is Katie. She works in the office as well, and she will be monitoring questions that come in. So as you noticed when you joined us today, everyone's been muted. And we ask you to keep that button on mute if you do not mind. And if you have any questions, feel free to type that into the chat box, and Katie will monitor that and make sure those questions get answered here before we hang up today. This is a different setup than what you've been used to. If you've been to our past extravaganzas, usually, as you know, we have a 30-minute presentation in our one of our conference rooms there, and it's face-to-face, and it's one of our amazing tour operators that's speaking alone there. But now we're actually doing it in a different format with more of an interview style. So we have 4 different amazing all-inclusive representatives with us today, and I'm going to introduce everybody here. If you can just kind of wave as I say your name. We have B. Barbero with Miraval Resorts. Michelle Payette with Playa Resorts, Staci Rambolo with Palace Resorts, and Francisco Rejo with Karisma Resorts. Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. My first set of questions is going to be one that I will open up to every person and have each person answer it, and then we'll kind of, as we go along, there'll be, I might call out a specific person to answer a specific question, and we'll go from there. First off, let's go ahead and start with Staci. Staci, can you tell us the differences between your resorts? I guess if you can list all of your resorts, I know you have quite a few. We'll be testing you here. And just let us know the names of your resorts and where they are located.
Okay, yeah, so we have a total of 10 all-inclusives. We have Palace Resorts properties and we have LeBlanc. So our Palace Resorts properties, we have Moon Palace, we have the Grand at Moon Palace in Cancun, we have Beach Palace, Isla Mujeres, we have Playa Palace, Cozumel Palace, and we have a Moon Palace in Jamaica. We have 2 LeBlanc properties. Our LeBlancs are our luxury butler service, all-inclusive. So we have a LeBlanc Spa Resort in Cancun and then LeBlanc Spa Resort in Los Cabos. So we have 10 all-inclusive resorts. The great thing about our all-inclusive resorts is that we have basically resorts for everyone. So whether if you're looking for a small boutique resort with 62 rooms or larger resorts with over 2,000 rooms. So we have, you know, resorts for honeymoon clients, anniversaries, romantic getaways, we know multi-generation families, you know, larger groups, even destination weddings. So we kind of have resorts basically for any type of your clients too. Most of our resorts are in Mexico, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Cozumel, Isla Mujeres, and Los Cabos, and then we do have one in Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
I think we lost Cassie. So
I think we did. I was like, where did she go?
I think so. Okay. Well, thank you. Michelle, we'll direct that question to you too. So can you tell us the different resorts in your brand and where they are?
Sure, I'd love to. So I'm with Playa Resorts. We have 18 all-inclusive brands, 18 all-inclusive hotels under 5 different brands. So instead of, I won't list all 18 resorts, but I'll just list the different brands and kind of what differentiates them. The first that we have are our Hyatt Ziva and Hyatt Zilara brands. Hyatt Ziva is a 5-star family, all ages welcome. Our Hyatt Zilara is our adults only, 18 and older brand. So a lot of people don't realize that Hyatt have all-inclusives. They do. We have them in Mexico, on both sides of Mexico, West Coast and East Coast, Jamaica, and most recently in the Dominican Republic in Cap Cana. Our other brand is Hilton. Again, a lot of people don't even realize there's Hilton all-inclusives. We have an adults only in downtown Playa del Carmen. It's oceanfront, but 1 block from downtown Fifth Ave. We have one in Rose Hall, Jamaica, and one in La Romana in the Dominican. Panama Jack, we've got 2 of those. Panama Jacks are all about family-friendly adventure activities. One in Cancun, one in Playa del Carmen. We have 2 jewel resorts in Jamaica, very Jamaican feeling properties, 1 to 3-bedroom suites, as well as villas, and they are all inclusive. And then last but not least, one of my favorites is our Sanctuary Cap Cana, which is our adults only property in Cap Cana. It was built to replicate a Spanish colonial town you never feel like you're at an adult or an all-inclusive there. You feel like you're somewhere in the Mediterranean. It's awesome. So something for everyone, something every price point, adults only, family friendly. Again, something for everybody.
Great, thank you. Cassie, are you good? You're
I'm,
moving. Yeah.
yeah. Can you hear me okay now?
Yep.
The cord must have fallen out of the back of my laptop. I apologize. And my computer died, but I think I'm plugged back in now, so we're good. I'm glad I didn't lose all of you guys though. And I'm glad you guys took it away. So Michelle, you just answered, you just introduced yourself, I take it. Francisco, let's move on to you.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Greetings from Mexico. Well, I work with Karisma Hotels and Resorts, and we're present in Mexico and in the Caribbean. In Mexico, we have an adults-only experience with El Dorado properties. We have 4 of these. We have El Dorado Royal, El Dorado Casitas Royal, El Dorado Seaside Suites. The background that you see there is the Seaside Suites, and El Dorado Maroma. We also have, for another adults-only experience, the Palafitos over-the-water bungalows, the first over-the-water bungalows in Cancun. And we also have certain options for family friendlies. We have the Azul Beach Riviera Cancun, also located in Cancun. We also have the Margaritaville Island Reserve. It's a new concept that we started this year, and we're looking to grow it in the years to come. And that's in Mexico. And in the Caribbean, we have the Azul Beach Negril in Jamaica. That's also all-inclusive. All of the resorts are all-inclusive. And then in the Dominican Republic, we have 2 resorts. We have the Sensatori Resort, which is family-friendly, and we also have the Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts in the Dominican Republic.
Fantastic, thank you. And going on to B, let's hear what you have.
Hello again. Hola from Mexico. I am one of those fortunate persons that are based in Mexico on site. So I'm from Maribel Resorts, and we have 3 fantastic properties located in Riviera Nayarit. That is on the Pacific side of Mexico, and you're flying into Puerto Vallarta's airport, and we're literally located 15 minutes north from the airport with our first 2 properties, which are the Maribel Emotions and the Maribel Distinct. As well, we have the Maribel Harmony, which is our newest property that opened last year, and that is situated in the posh area of Punta de Mita. So our concept, of course, is all-inclusive, and we are very well known for the family concept. We were the pioneers in what would be the all-inclusive and accommodations of multi-bedrooms to accommodate families that have 3 children or more. So we have lots of varieties as far as accommodations for groups of friends traveling together, starting at 1 bedroom and going all the way up to 4 bedrooms that can accommodate 11 persons. So again, ideal, not just for our friends and family, for the traditional and very up and coming multi-generational family trend that has been going on for the last couple of years. Also, something a little new for Maribel is that at the new property of Maribel Harmony, in Punta de Mita, we do have a dedicated building for adults only. So that is something that has newly been introduced. And I have to say that over the years, we have mostly been known for the concept of our home feeling and really having guests come back time and time again. We have a great set of repeat clientele, and you're just one more member of the Maribel family. So thank you for joining us today.
Fantastic. And you guys actually kind of answered a lot of my second question along with your introduction, which was perfect. I was basically kind of just wanting to know if your properties are more focused on adult only or family or multi-generational. So feel free to maybe, if you didn't answer that, maybe just feel free to add that in as I ask this next question. What are 3 things that set your resorts apart from the others? So Staci, let's go back and start with you. If you can think of 3 things that sort of set your properties apart that make you guys unique.
Okay, yeah, so we are luxury all-inclusive resorts. So when you come to our resorts, we're true all-inclusive. So everything is going to be included from top shelf alcohol. We have alcohol dispensers, we have stock mini fridge, we have 24-hour room service. We have a la carte dining, for full room service menu, free Wi-Fi, and then we even have Chi products. So we have the Chi shampoo, conditioner, body lotion, bubble bath. We even have the chi, hair dryers, and flat irons in every room. In our concierge level rooms, we have L'Occitane, and then at our LeBlanc properties, we have the Bulgari bath amenities. So you're gonna find your shampoo, conditioner, body lotion, and at LeBlanc's, we also have the butler service too. So the butlers will unpack your clothes, iron your clothes, draw your bath, aromatherapy, pillow menu. So basically anything and everything you want throughout your stay, the butlers are there for you.
Fantastic. That's incredible. All right, Michelle, thank you. Let's go ahead and go on into Michelle. I'm sorry, Staci, thank you. Let's go to Michelle now. Michelle, 3 things that set your properties apart, make you guys unique, and kind of the markets you appeal to.
Oh, sure. So I'll say my 3 favorite things that I don't believe anybody else has, but one is at our Hyatt, 2 of them are at Hyatt Ziva Cancun, which is a family-friendly, gorgeous stretch of beach. But the things that make us unique is we have an all-inclusive candy store there. And it sounds just like it is. You can go in and have as much candy as you want. I always say it's kind of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So we have that available, just as many adults in there as children. And then right next door to that, we have Tres Cervezas, which is, we have an all-inclusive microbrewery on site. So for people who don't like the standard beer, or I always call them beer snobs, we brew 3 of our own IPA beers that are found on site and at Tres Cervezas. And then the last thing is, we kind of have 6 pillars of Playa, we call them. They're consistent things at all of our resorts. And one of them is wellness and fitness category. And we have definitely upheld that. Our brand new resort in Cap Cana in the Dominican Republic, it's side-by-side properties, our Hyatt Ziva, Hyatt Zilara. We have really stepped up our game as far as fitness and built the largest gym in the Caribbean with a 14,000 square foot gym. It is incredible. And especially right now where people are trying to social distance, it works perfect. We have a separate yoga studio, a separate Zumba room. We have 10,000 square foot of all free weight areas and TRX sections, really something for everyone. It's all based around, the Dominican is known for baseball and boxing. So that's the theme of it. But yeah, 14,000 square foot of fitness. So you almost feel guilty not working out when you're there.
I think I might feel just a little bit, especially if I was partaking in the candy store.
Exactly.
So.
It's all about balance. It's all about balance.
Fantastic. Francisco, let's move on to you. What are 3 things that set you all apart to make you guys unique?
Well, first, we are Karisma Gourmet Inclusive. So we have gourmet cuisine, and that's important because we have a 76,000 square greenhouse at El Dorado Royale. We grow fresh food, fresh vegetable, fresh spices, and we distribute all of that food in all of the resorts that we have in the Riviera Maya. So fresh food and quality is going to be on the plate of all of our clients. Also, we're all about premium drinks. We have personalized service because in our resorts, no one has to wear a bracelet when you're a client. So that's important because everyone gets treated the same with the high standards in quality and also in service. Also, for those families that are traveling, we have guarantee connecting suites. At Azul Beach Resorts, we can fit up to 6 guests in guarantee connecting suites. And also at Generations Riviera Maya is another family friendly. We can fit up to 12 guests with a 3-bedroom suite that we can guarantee they can all be together. And the last one, and this is probably my favorite one, because we understand how difficult it is to travel with toddlers. It is very difficult to plan it out. Some people don't want to travel because they know all of the things that they have to bring along, but we're toddler inclusive. So from a baby crib, bottle warmer, everything that you can imagine, it's going to be in the room. Even Gerber food, if you need Gerber food, is going to be on the food displays or buffets of the resort. Or if you need something special done because the children or the toddler has an allergy, we can actually talk to the chef and make them some special food. And that way they can enjoy a nice vacation with a toddler.
I love that. That's definitely probably a big challenge for us that have traveled with the little ones, and I certainly can attest to that from my experience. So relaxation is key. Thank you, Francisco. And let's move on to B. What are 3 things that make Amerival Family Resorts unique?
Well, I think one of them I already touched upon, but I'll just kind of reiterate our multi-bedrooms. I think that's something that sets us apart because we do have, for example, over half of our inventory between the 3 resorts are multi-bedrooms, again, from 1 to 4 bedrooms that range up to 3,900 square feet. And I think Michelle had a very good point. In these days and times, people are looking to social distance, and whether it's within an actual room category or on site, I think that that's an important feature for us more so at this time. I do believe, I also kind of mentioned the home feeling, but I didn't go into exact details on that. Is what comes from that home feeling is really our staff. Pioneers in the area of Nuevo Vallarta with our first flagship property of Maribel Emotions means we've been around for over 30 years, and we have staff that have actually been at the properties and obviously have floated to one or the other to transmit that Maribel home feeling into the new properties. So that's something that's very important, from whether it's a front desk clerk, a bellboy, a bartender, someone that's cleaning your room, the beach staff. It really is something that makes a difference with our staff. And I think that's why we've been so successful on such a high repeat clientele. So that would definitely be something to mention. And I always like to throw in, I've been with Maribel for over 20 years now, which, I started when I was 12, remember? So, and, the third option I think would be, in these days and times, offering a lot of variety and great quality food options, catering to, whether it's vegan, vegetarian, kids' taste, and just offering comfort food, because I think, we all have luxury products within our lineup of hotels, and offering that comfort food for someone that's trying a luxury experience, I think is interesting, because you can retreat to that, but still get out of your box in your comfort zone and try more exotic foods that maybe you would not try back home. So I think that's something that's important that makes us stand out as well, is our food and beverage program.
Absolutely. Food's been phenomenal. I can attest to that firsthand. It was delicious. Moving on, I think we'll probably combine a couple of questions together here. Some of your resorts that you all represent have exchange privileges. So if as we go through, let's talk about the fact that whether or not you guys have exchange privileges amongst your resorts. Also, if you can tie in, let us know if your beaches are swimmable at your properties. I know that, like I said, so many of you all represent so many different properties. It's kind of hard to generalize that, but maybe just specifically let the clientele know if there's one beach that you would say is your most recommended one for swimming, or one that maybe is not swimmable. Just good for us to know. So starting with Staci, let's go ahead with you.
So we have exchange privileges at all of our Palace Resorts property. So for an example, if you're at a Moon Palace in Cancun, you can go to Beach Palace for the day, or you can go down to Playa del Carmen. There are a couple of exceptions. Of course, if it's an adults only or couples only resort, kids won't be allowed. But as far as if you're at, Sun Palace, which is our couples only resort, you're more than welcome to go to Moon Palace, which is our family resort. The other exception is the Grand at Moon Palace in Cancun. So if you stay at the Grand at Moon Palace, you can go over to Moon Palace or any of our other Palace properties. But if you're at Moon Palace, you will have to purchase a day pass to come to the Grand. The other exception is the Blanc. So if you're at any, the Blanc Cancun, you can go to any of our Palace properties, but you cannot go to Le Blanc. So if you're at any of our Palace Resorts properties, that's the only exception too. So yes, we do have exchange privileges. Most of the time you will have to cover transportation. So we have one in Playa del Carmen. You have to cover the cost for the ferry to Cozumel Palace. It's about $28 round trip, maybe a $5, $10 taxi ride at the resort. So again, you're gonna have to cover transportation, but yes, we have, most of our resorts have exchange privileges too. And as far as our beaches, most of our resorts have swimmable beaches. I mean, we're in Cancun, some of the most breathtaking water, beautiful beaches, you can't beat that. The only beach that I would say is not swimmable is in Cabo, or the Blanc Spa Resort Los Cabo. I mean, that's Cabo in general. We're right there on the corridor. And it's not recommended to swim mainly because of the current in the undertow. There are a couple of beaches in Cabo, Medano Beach and Lovers Beach that you can swim in, but the majority of the beaches in Cabo are just not recommended to swim because of that reason. So, but yeah, most of our beaches are recommended to swim.
Perfect. Thank you, Staci. Michelle, how about Hyatt? How is your family of different products that you represent? Is there any exchange privileges amongst those?
Sure. So we do have the 5 different brands, so they are all separate. But we do have our Hyatt, Ziva, and Zilara. Again, one's Zilara's adults only, Ziva's family friendly. We have those side-by-side properties in Jamaica, 15 minutes from the airport in Montego Bay. And then we also have in Cap Cana, they're right next to each other as well. So both of those, as long as you're 18 or older, can use all the restaurants, all the bars, pools, whatever on either side. The other one that we have similar is our Hilton La Romana. It's on the Caribbean side of the Dominican Republic. So you fly into Punta Cana, it's about a 45-minute drive, well worth the drive because now you're on the Caribbean side of the Dominican Republic. So you talk about beaches, that beach is absolutely gorgeous. It's so shallow, it's so calm. You could do tons of non-motorized water sports in it, snorkeling right from the beach. We actually do our water aerobics, not in the pool. We bring it out into the Caribbean, which is a lot of fun. But same thing there. We have an adults only Hilton La Romana and a family one. And you, as long as you're 18 or older, you can use both sides of it. All of our beaches, that's one of our pillars of Playa, we like to call it too, is we are on some of the absolute best beaches. As I mentioned, the one in La Romana is gorgeous. Juanilo Beach, which is in Cap Cana, is white powdery sand, super clear turquoise water, all of them in Mexico as well. I'll reiterate what Staci said. The only one that is not on an actual swimmable beach would be our Hyatt Ziva in Los Cabos. We are on the Cia Cortez. I think there's 80% of the hotels that are not on a swimmable beach. It is still a gorgeous beach. It is so wide. We do so many destination weddings because it creates such a beautiful backdrop with those waves crashing. It's just not safe to swim right in front. There's always going to be a red flag at. So plenty of walking to do on the beach. You can lay out on the beach. We have bonfires on the beach. You just can't swim on it.
Very good. Perfect. And Francisco, how about you?
Yes, so in the Riviera Maya, we have 4 resorts that are literally connected. They're right next to each other. The first resort that you're going to see is El Dorado Royal, and then El Dorado Casitas Royal, which is going to be our adults only. Then right next to Casitas, we have Generations Riviera Maya, which is our family friendly. And next year, we're opening the Nickelodeon Riviera Maya hotels and resorts. So we have those 4 resorts. We currently, with the 3 that we have open, have shared benefits. So if you're an adult, you can enjoy from the 3 resorts, and you have up to 13 different restaurants that you can choose from. So if you're the foodie lover, that's a place to go to. And also, if you're an adult and you're staying at Generation and you want to go to both of El Dorado resorts, you can leave your kids in the kids club, and then you can go do the share benefits. And we have in the Caribbean 2 resorts, which is Sensatori and Nickelodeon Punta Cana. Both of them are also right next to each other, and they do have shared privileges with restaurants and bars. Also, all of our resorts are with beaches that are swimmable, but we have 2 standout beaches. The first one is in Mexico, which is Maroma Beach, one of the most incredible beaches that we have available here in Mexico, or I even think in the world. And in that resort we have El Dorado Maroma. And also right next to that, we have Maroma Adventures. We give you an opportunity to do an activity outside the resort, and that way you don't have to actually leave the resort, because for example, when you want to do a tour or a catamaran ride swimming with dolphins, you have to leave the resort. In this case, you're just 5-minute walking distance from Maroma Adventures by Lomas Travel. You can go there and enjoy from 12 different activities. And the other beach that really stands out is in Negril, is the 7 Mile Beach. And that's probably one of the most beautiful beaches that I've ever been on.
Fantastic. Thank you, Francisco. And B, let's move on to you.
Okay, well, we have exchange privileges if you are a guest staying at Maribel Distinct, which is our luxury product, with the Maribel Emotions, and they are literally 2 minutes apart. It's a half a mile, so we have golf carts that can whisk you back and forth. So it's a nice combination because if you're staying at the Maribel Distinct, you've got the option of sort of playing over at the Maribel Emotions, which has even more of a family concept. You know, we have, from the theater where we have nightly shows and karaoke and a kids water park. So it's particularly inviting for, of course, families. There's also a dedicated area. So if you want to actually be at the beach on site at Maribel Emotions and you're a guest at Maribel Distinct, you have the premium brand drinks that are included at the Maribel Distinct and a higher end menu, including a lot of seafood options and whatnot. So as far as exchange privileges, that would be what we have to offer. And the beaches, well, we're on the Pacific side, so I know that, the gorgeous Caribbean waters are not part of our side of the country, but we have some fantastic, friendly, swimmable beaches. And I think that's what's important to highlight. And it's absolutely wonderful for the water sports that are included and boogie boarding, which are a lot of great active things to do in the area. So 2 of our properties are in Nuevo Vallarta, as I mentioned. So the beach is, again, swimmable, active, very friendly. But as you head up towards the north of the bay, the beach at Maribel Harmony, I have to, I think, differentiate because it is a fantastic, wonderful stretch of beach that is actually very private because it's secluded. The Maribel Harmony is situated on a cliff top. So you've got a wonderful area that is really private. And the beach, as you go north of the bay, actually turns out that the sand is actually a bit finer, more fine, and the water turns into more of a green Mediterranean kind of color. So it's a really nice contrast. And again, a great option.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next set of questions here. Let's go ahead and, let's go ahead and do a little personal question if you don't mind. It's of course about your resort still. I'd like to ask each one of you if you could take your family to any of your properties, which one would you choose and why? So starting with you, Staci.
Okay, so yeah, I love all of our resorts for different reasons. So it kind of really just depends on who I'm going with. But my husband and I, it's so funny to say that, just recently went to LeBlanc Los Cabos on our honeymoon. So I would pick that one again. LeBlanc Los Cabos is our 5-diamond luxury all-inclusive resort. So you will be spoiled and pampered. I love Cabo. I love the Blanc brand. And just, all of the food's amazing. It's all fine dining, a la carte. You're going to find Black Label, Johnny Walker in-room alcohol dispensers. So just the whole experience. All of our resorts have pool and beach waiter service, but at LeBlanc, we have the pool concierge. So they'll bring, towels, they move umbrellas, they come around with an ice bucket. They even have one of the servers comes around and puts cucumbers and ice cold towels over your face. So we were extremely pampered. We came home or back to our room one evening, and the butler had put rose petals all the way to our bathtub, filled it with bath salts, had champagne, chocolate covered strawberry, had music playing on our TV. So just the whole experience. So as far as our honeymoon, I would go back there again anytime.
Sounds dreamy. All right, Michelle, how about you all? Where would you guys head on your personal vacation?
Again, that's really hard. But I'm going to go with our Hyatt Ziva and our Hyatt Zilara in Cap Cana, only because it's the newest. And I haven't got a chance to stay there more than once. But I'm a beach girl, and it is on Juanillo Beach. So this is in Cap Cana, which they refer to as the Beverly Hills of the Dominican Republic. It's only 15 minutes from the airport. So I like that. After a long flight, you're within, an hour, you're at your resort and ready to start your vacation. It is on that Juanillo Beach, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love to do like kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, and that beach is perfect for it. There's also, those are 2 of the properties that are side by side. So you can, if you want to ditch the kids for the night or leave them at the kids club and you go try some of the restaurants on the adults only side, you can do so. 90% of the rooms have somewhat of a beautiful ocean view. And we built our first ever water park there. So we have 7 water slides, a lazy river, a separate splash park for the toddlers. We did food trucks out there. So at lunchtime, you don't even have to get dressed to go have lunch. You just go to the food trucks. That's where we've got that awesome gym and the spa there. I am very much a spa person. We built what's called a Larimar spa there, and they built it so it replicates like being under in a cenote. And we use Larimar as the stone of the Dominican Republic. It's a beautiful blue, and that's spread out all through the spa. It is just so relaxing. So it really has something for everyone there, and it's our newest. So I'm going to pick that one.
Good choice. Fantastic. And Francisco, where would your family head for vacation?
Well, for me, I mean, we have, El Dorado brands. We have the family-friendly brands. And then we just released a new brand, which is Margaritaville Island Reserve. And to be honest, one of my first jobs was actually doing marketing for Margaritaville, restaurants here in Cancun. So to have that opportunity to start, promoting that resort and talk about that resort and actually live the experience, I think it's something that we didn't have before in our portfolio. It's a very relaxed resort. You really don't take yourselves too seriously. You have a great time. You're always listening to music. We have something cool, which is Joe Merchant's Coffee and Provision. So instead of arriving to your room and find your minibar already stocked up, you only have water in your room. You get points on your bracelet, and you're going to be able to choose your in-room refreshment with that. So being able to choose your favorite snacks, your favorite drinks, and also just enjoying, the restaurants, because in some of our restaurants we have dress codes, but at Margaritaville there's no dress codes. You just go in, you just relax. You don't have to worry about ironing your long sleeve shirt. And it's also in front of a very beautiful beach. So for that, and we have 2 more Margaritaville resorts. One of them is going to be in Riviera Maya, which is going to be an adults-only property. And that one's going to be like my go-to next year. But for now, I will stick with the new brand that we have, which is Margaritaville Island Reserve. And I can't wait for the future with that brand.
Fantastic. Thank you, Francisco. All right, B, where are you guys going to head?
Oh, goodness. Well, this is a complicated question for me because I literally can walk out of my office and experience the resorts. So my choice is Kansas City.
Like
no, I really do. I love city vacations. So yes, for personal vacations, but obviously me being here and my family living in Canada, well, they obviously come down to visit, and they truly love the experience of Marival Distinct. It keeps them close to me because my office is just, a couple of minutes away, and I can spend quality time with them even though I'm working. But they love the idea, some of them, as my nieces were younger and now are older, the concept of staying at one, and what I mentioned, they can come over to the Marival Emotions with the water park for the kids and everything. Now it's more the disco, right? But as they get older, so they're having a great time experiencing that over the years. But I love the idea, for example, of Marival Harmony, just because for me, it feels like I'm getting away and really just escaping my work environment, right? So I love the idea of going over to the Marival Harmony. I've spoken, about the beach, how fantastic it is. And I'm with Michelle on the spa. I'm a spa junkie. And I've got to mention that both at Marival Distinct and Marival Harmony, we have the concept of our Melange World Spa, which has just a whole different experience where you've got treatments from different countries, and we kind of took it a step further and did the design and the ambience of the cabins per that country. And I mean, the best part of it involves food and beverage, alcoholic, non-alcoholic. So it's a really fantastic concept. So also, family and friends, and for me, I do a lot of times my girl trips with my girlfriends from home that I get to see every so often. So with the multi-bedrooms we offer, it's great that we can all stay together, but not, all over each other. Like, we've got our personal space as well. Combine it with the beautiful beach and the fantastic option of spas, and of course the great all-inclusive. I would say my bet would be Marival Harmony.
That's fantastic. And we're going to go into our portion where we talk. I'm going to ask a specific question to each one of you, and B, we're going to go ahead and stick with you for a moment. I just had a quick question. If you can talk with us about what is and is not included. Are gratuities included? Are there any out-of-pocket expenses that people should be aware of?
Well, I think that it varies from hotel to hotel. So I do want to mention that obviously we have the all-inclusive concept, but I think like most all-inclusives, let's start with our beverages, for example. There are premium brands at each level of our hotels that may not be included, but are available for an extra charge. There, of course, are wine lists. You know, we have house wines included at all 3 of our properties, depending on the level of property, will depend also on the wine. However, we do have a wine list if somebody wants to have another option or choice or upgrade in any way, and of course certain champagne, that type of thing, and that's pretty standard at an all-inclusive. I was just talking about the spa, so obviously spa treatments are not part of the all-inclusive, so that's something that you would need to consider. As well, you know, we're talking about great destinations, you know, both on the Pacific side and where my colleagues are located. Great experiences as far as tours and getting to know a destination. So if you want to, you know, set foot outside of the all-inclusive doors and take part and do, whether it's a city tour or a zip lining or get out on the water, those are things that you would do as far as having an extra charge involved. But going back to the resort itself, we do have, for example, you know, like lobster or certain cuts of steaks or something that would be included. But the most important part is that we do make sure that this is clear in the options, like the menus, that it's highlighted, and that our staff are always letting someone know so that there's no hidden costs involved, that the client knows up front if something is not included, and then they can make that choice. So I think that's the most important thing to consider on extras. And going to the last part of your question, which would be gratuities. Technically, in an all-inclusive, a gratuity is included in your all-inclusive rate, but of course, I think nobody minds receiving an extra tip for good service, and I think clients overall do consider that. If you're receiving good service, you know, whether it's from the bartender, the wait staff, the cleaning staff, it is very much appreciated, however, not expected.
Perfect. And I think that's pretty true across the all-inclusive resort world, in that, you know, gratuities are never expected. Unlike the cruise world. But I always encourage people to bring, you know, a handful of 1s and 5s, because you just fall in love with the staff and you just want to, you know, they work so hard, and you just really do want to support them and their families. So moving on to Staci, I have a question for you. The Palace properties are a little kind of unique because you guys have a little more, some inclusions that I know you might want to mention. So if you can tell us what activities are included, are there activities available for purchase, such as excursions, or are those included?
Yeah, so like I said before, we are a luxury true all-inclusive, so all the amenities are going to be included. But at our family resorts, we include our non-motorized water sports. We also have a kids club, teens club, nightclub. All of those are free included. We have a huge water park at the Grand. So if you stay at the Grand, the entire water park, slides, lazy river, kids splash zone, wave pool. We have another flow rider over there. All that's included. So there's no additional charge for any of our non-motorized water sports. And Moon Palace in Cancun, we have tennis courts, we have basketball courts, all that's available. At LeBlanc, we have a whole hydrotherapy area. So you can have access to our steam room, saunas, jacuzzis, ice room. So all of that's available. As far as spas and tours and all that, that is additional. Like at Cozumel Palace, we do have some dive packages. At Moon Palace in Cancun, we have some golf packages that you can always add on to. Same for the spa. So any of those tours, anything additional that you want to do on property would be extra. But as far as the all amenities, we do have tons of all-inclusive features that are included in our resorts.
Perfect. Fantastic. Thank you. Going on to Francisco, I have a question for you regarding your kids club and your youth programming. Do you all have a kids program, and are there extra fees associated with that program? If you can tell us maybe the age bracket, if babysitting services are available, if under a certain age.
Yeah, so for children, we do have programs. It really all depends on the resort. What we consider a children is from 4 to 12 years old. And for example, at the Azul, we have Azulitos Playhouse. The Azulitos Playhouse, what we do is we gather all of the children that are on the resort, and we have an itinerary already set for clients. This is important because the activities can go to boot camp, having a great time at the beach, having pool activities with other children, cooking classes, chemistry classes. And we try to replicate that in all of our resorts, whether it's Generations, which is our family friendly, or Azul. And we have Nickelodeon in Punta Cana, which that is, we don't really need a program for that. Although the kids have an incredible time, because at Nickelodeon, not only are they going to be able to meet their favorite Nickelodeon characters like SpongeBob or the Ninja Turtles, but also a part of the resort, like 10-minute walking distance, we have what we call the Nickelodeon Water Park. So in there, children are able to go. They're going to be able to have their children's have their water slides, and also teenagers, and for adults we have the lazy river. And also a fun fact, because everyone is entitled to feel young again and have a great time at the water park, every day at 3 p.m. they fill out a big bucket of slime, because sliming is something that they do with Nickelodeon, in the Nickelodeon Awards and on the TV shows, and everyone gathers in the middle of the water park. But it doesn't matter the age. You could be young, you could be the third age, you could be an adult, and everyone has fun and gets slime all at the same time at 3 p.m. So I think that's one of the coolest experience that I've seen. And also something very, going back to your question about babysitting services, we do have that available. Children under 4 years old can go to the kids club and be part of the different activities, but they must be accompanied by an adult. If they want to hire babysitter services in case adults want to go to a very fancy dinner, or just get a nice getaway in between them, they can also hire that. So those are the highlights that we have for children in our family-friendly resorts.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Our family got to experience Nickelodeon Punta Cana, and we got to see where people were slimed. We didn't do it ourselves, but it
Oh,
definitely
come
was.
on.
I know, we should have done it. Michelle, I have a question for you. If you can talk to us a little bit about how your meals work. Do you have to make a reservation for meals at any of your restaurants? Do you offer room service? Is there a cost associated with your room service?
Okay, sure. But before that, I will say, Francisco, I have been slimed at your resort before. So got the video to prove it. It was really
That's
fun.
awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
You have to share it with us.
Yeah. But back to my Playa resorts. That was a fun time. Had to mention it. But yes, for the restaurants. So it's interesting that you asked that now, because normally at our Playa resorts, we do not have reservations at any of our restaurants. We just feel sometimes people enjoy that more, just because some people don't want to plan their day. And if they want to stay longer at the pool or beach, they don't want to be rushing back to their room to get to their 6 o'clock reservation. Right now with COVID and the reduced occupancies though, we are letting you make reservations. It just helps you guys plan as well as helps us plan for staffing purposes. We're working our restaurants. All of our restaurants will be open at some point during the week. We're just on a rotating basis. They're not required right now, but we are allowing you to make them. So that's something that's a little different right now. We're also doing takeout at our restaurants. So if you come to a restaurant and you decide, you know what, we want to eat this food, but we wanted to eat al fresco outside at one of maybe our fire pits or something, we're allowing you to place your order right with the hostess station, and they'll bring it. It's almost like an Uber Eats. They'll bring it up in a secured little package, and then you can so you can have the food, but eat it wherever you want. Our buffets, we get this question a lot, like, are you doing buffets right now? We absolutely are, because we have a lot of our results that are all ages. When you have a family of 5, everybody's got a different palate, right? So the buffets just make sense. So we wanted to cater to that still. They just look a little different. They're no longer self-serving. We just have the tempered glass at each station. And then we have one of our staff members working each one. So you can still eat and drink as much as you want, but you just have somebody plating it for you. Room service actually has become more popular than ever, because sometimes people, again, want a social distance. Maybe they want to enjoy it in their room. So we absolutely have actually beefed up our room service. It is at no additional charge, and it is 24 hours.
Perfect. Thank you, Michelle. We'll go on here and we'll move to our section where I'll ask a question and I'll have each of you answer this. Starting off, let's talk about entertainment. Obviously, all of your resorts do offer entertainment, which is certainly a highlight of on all-inclusive. If you don't mind kind of talking a little bit about what types of shows you guys, what types of entertainment you provide, and maybe highlight your personal favorite show that you've experienced or type of entertainment that you've experienced. So starting with Staci, let's go ahead and start with you.
So we have all of our daily and nightly entertainment included in all of our resorts. So in the day, it's a lot of your pool activities. So water aerobics, we have aqua spinning, we have volleyball, you name it. So we have all kind of your fun daily entertainment. We have tons of things to do for exercise. So we do yoga, we do, water aerobics I mentioned before. So we have a whole variety of schedules. So basically every day, whether if you want to do Spanish lessons or bingo, there's something going on throughout the entire day. For the evening, we have a whole list of shows. At the Grand, we actually have a movie theater or a theater in general that holds up to 1,000 people. So you can play movies for some of the kids or adults. And then we have a theater. So we have all your nightly entertainment shows. At all of our resorts, we have nightly entertainment. So whether it's your Michael Jackson show, your fire show, we have a whole variety of shows. So every night we'll have a different show that's available. One of my favorites is we've actually in the past had quite a few artists come to our resorts. So the Beach Boys concert was actually pretty awesome. We've had Usher, Shakira, so we kind of had some of the bigger names. We had Luke Bryan and Crash My Playa this year, so we have quite the entertainment lineup. But this year we're doing for New Year's Eve and for Christmas, we're doing Mist. So it's a Broadway musical. It's amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but we're doing that at the show. So if you stay a certain amount of nights, tickets will be included for our show. So we always have certain things going on. Christmas is also one of my favorite times to go. I love just seeing all of the beautiful Christmas decorations. We have a 300-foot tree at Moon Palace. It's massive. We have a whole Christmas village. We do an amazing job at decorations, but we also do tons of, additional entertainment around the holidays. So whether if you're there for Thanksgiving, I've been there for the 4th of July before, and they really just go all out on entertainment too. So all the holidays, keep us in mind. We'd love to have you.
Perfect. Thank you. Michelle, tell us a little bit about your entertainment and maybe what your favorite experience has been regarding entertainment.
Yeah, so a lot of the same as what Staci mentioned during the day. Beaches, we take full advantage of these amazing beaches that we're on. So we'll always have beach volleyball going on, soccer going on, different kids activities. Depending where you are, we call it bago. Some people call it cornhole. We have those different tournaments going out on the beach. Pool, we've always got activities happening. But then at night, so I always like to say, if you are looking for a resort where you are going to want to party until 4 in the morning and you want a nightclub, we're not the resorts for you. There are plenty of those out there that cater more to that, but we're going to focus more on like sports bars and martini bars, piano bars, and that kind of things. Still plenty of options for you. I've never make it past midnight, so that's more than enough for me. But I'll say that one of my, and obviously nightly shows, we'll do a nightly show for families first, and then usually there's an adult oriented one more after that. But I have to say, I'm a big sports fan. I know Mark and Mimi are, well, I should say Mark is as well. So I think one of our best additions is we're really amping up all of our sports bars at all of our places. And the Hyatt Ziva in Puerto Vallarta, we just built a brand new one. And so it's really cool. The floor is like a football field with all the yardage markers, but it's oceanfront. So to me, there is nothing better than being able to watch my favorite sports team playing and yet still see the ocean. So it's like the best of both worlds. A lot of times with sports bars, they're hidden somewhere in the resort, but this one is still oceanfront. So again, best of both worlds.
Fantastic. That sounds amazing. All right, Francisco, how about you?
Yeah, so we also have, the pool activities, the beach activities. We have always something going on during the day in both of those sections of the resort. Also at night, we in all of our resorts, whether it's adults only or family friendly, we have an activity at night. It could be a magic show, it could be a fire show. But what I really like is that we try to focus into the region, into where you're located. So for example, in Mexico, we will try to do a show at night, Mayan culture inspired. Also, for example, with the spas, which is as another activity, it's also Mayan inspired. So you get to do treatments that are just from the region. And also something very cool is that we also have during the day tequila tasting, mezcal tasting, and this really all applies on what destination you are. Because if you go to Jamaica to the Azul Beach Negril, you have a representation of the Jamaican culture because we also have rum tasting. That's probably one of the best things that I did, because when I went there last December. It was my first time visiting that resort. I really like rum, so to be able to sit down and actually do the rum tasting, and they give you an explanation, because you always hear, oh, Jamaica, well, they have the Appleton and that's it. But no, they have a wide range of different liquors that you can taste, and you can actually get, a nice story out of it. So we have shows during the day and during the night. Also, just like Michelle mentioned, if you're looking for, like party until 4 a.m., this really doesn't apply to our concept. We do not have nightclubs in our resorts. We do have theme bars. So that's important for you guys to know. And also we have night entertainment. So please, really all depends on what concept you're looking for, because if you're looking for more romantic, you have to go to El Dorado. But if you're looking for more party, you will go to Margaritaville. So it really all depends on what you're looking for.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, B, let's hear what you have. Did it work okay? Hello, there we are.
Okay, so gosh, okay, well, I think all of my colleagues have pretty much covered the daytime. So I think all of the all-inclusives offer fun, friendly, active activities. In our case, the Maribel Emotions is definitely, if you're looking for the fun, friendly activity, fun and games during the day, that's your best bet. But as I mentioned, if you're staying at the Maribel Distinct property, you have full use of the Maribel Emotions, that more upbeat ambience around the pool during the day. Maribel Harmony, because it's situated a little bit further away and a bit more secluded, we do have some activities there as well as at Maribel Distinct. But I think I could not mention, and I'm sure some of you know him, our famous Reggie. I think Reggie is such a big part of our entertainment. He's a one-man show, but he has been around the resorts for years, and he'll always brighten someone's day just by talking with them and just knowing them, where they're from, what they're celebrating. So I think he's a big part of our entertainment at the resorts. We do have nightly shows as well at the Maribel Emotions property, as well as at Maribel Harmony. So again, a variety, anything from, Staci mentioned Michael Jackson, to Disney-inspired shows, to fire shows. But I'm going to go and piggyback a little bit on Francisco's comment on the culture. And being in Mexico and being a foreigner, I would have to say my favorite experience is the Mexican fiesta, because I think it gives an opportunity to people that are visiting the country to taste the flavors of Mexico, from tequila to all the different varieties of food that are not just, nachos. And I think when you come, you experience something so different and so unique. So the Mexican fiesta, and I think anybody will enjoy, and it's happy to be around a mariachi. I think that's just, it can be romantic, it can be fun, it can be a party. So I think there's a combination of everything there. And also I think revolving around the holidays, of course, being in the States, you have more flexibility as far as time off and vacation during the holidays, such as July 4th and Thanksgiving and everything else. But I have to say that one of my favorites is the Day of the Dead. And I think, again, it involves such a cultural experience. Here in the hotel, for example, we have altars that we actually have contests between departments. So this year we're gearing up. We just talked about it this morning. Sales is going to win this year, where we put it together, and there's a real historic part of how you actually set it up and whatnot. So it's really quite interesting, and our guests really enjoy seeing the different altars around the resorts. And plus, it's so colorful. And I'm sure, if anyone has seen the movie Coco, that is really what it is all about. And it's definitely transmits into the destination. So if you want to go into the city center, the town center of Puerto Vallarta. It's a great way to experience a very cultural event. And I do want to also mention our Moon Nights in Mozamare. I think that's a fantastic experience to be able to watch a movie under the stars on the beach, having some popcorn. I think it's a fantastic experience. And again, with social distancing and being outdoors right now, I think it's a great, great activity that we offer.
Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Okay, so kind of in wrapping up, one important question that I would like to present right now is, there's so many ways to book your vacations right now, and especially in light of everything that's going on in our world. Can you tell us, does anyone have any feedback on how important it is right now to, as to who you book your vacation through? And I don't necessarily won't call on any one person, but does anyone want to speak on behalf of the group to give us some light into that situation?
Sure, I can start. I think I came from the travel counselor side. That's how I started in this industry. So I am a huge advocate of you guys should always, always, always be booking through a travel counselor, but more so now even than ever. If you guys are familiar with Samantha Brown, she is infamous in the very famous in the travel industry. She's a reporter. She's been traveling all over the entire world. That is her job. She was quoted by saying the job of a travel advisor, travel agent, travel counselor will be the most important thing in travel moving forward, because so many people during COVID, when resorts were shut down, airlines were not flying, that did not book with one were stuck on hold for 4 or 5, 6. I mean, you heard horror story after horror story, and they're going to learn they don't want to do that anymore. So the value of an agent, counselor, whatever you'd like to be called, has gone up a million times in my book. So we continue to support them every day.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that as well, because I sincerely think, and I've always thought that the job of a travel agent is probably one of the hardest and lowest paying industries that we are in. Is the person the go-to from your client. So if something goes wrong, it's always going to be your fault, and if something goes right, sometimes it's your fault either, right? So of us who are in the industry recognize it so much more now, and you guys have supported your clients. I mean, I know many agents that supported clients that didn't even book with them. They had booked, online somewhere or something, and they still provided that support. So that just goes to show, and I mean, for whoever's listening right now, in my books, right now, travel agents are true heroes after everything you guys have dealt with in the last 7 months.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, I would highly recommend booking with Cruise Holidays. I mean, they've been around for 27 years. But not only that, they have well-experienced agents. I mean, most of the agents here have been to not only my Palace Resorts, but Playa Resorts, Karisma, have the other resorts too. So they've been to these resorts. They've had their own personal experience. So they can kind of help you. So depending on where you're looking to go, they can make sure that, you're in the right fit. So a lot of times, you kind of see, oh, I want to go to this resort, but it might not be a great fit for you. So these agents, they know they've been to these resorts, they can recommend, they have previous clients that also have gone too. So they get feedback from them. They can book everything as a package deal. So they can book your hotel, flights, transfers, and even add insurance too. So it saves you a lot of the work. And to doing some extra research, I would just reach out to them and they can just book everything as a whole. And there's no additional charge to use them. So I don't know why you wouldn't.
No, and I think that the best part is, is the amount of times travel agents are traveling. They are really always on the move. They can always give you the best tips, whether it's from your passport or what's your expectation when you arrive to another country. They are the persons that are, they really know the destination. And I think an important point is how they were there during the bad times, which was March, April. I mean, we probably all lived it, trying to work with all of our travel agents, and they were very focused into making sure that you as a client do not lose your money, do not lose your vacation, postpone it, and then later create that expectation and that nice memory of you're going to travel again. And I think being there for people during the bad times, and they're also going to be there during the good times, it speaks a lot for every single one that is a travel agent. And again, it's a pleasure to work with all of you, and we can't wait to continue. When traveling comes back, you guys are going to be the first ones to travel. We had some of you guys at the Karisma resorts, and you guys had a great time, and you guys saw that it's not as bad to travel. When it comes to safety protocols, I think everyone in tourist places, whether it's on the airport, on the transportation companies, on the resort, everyone is on top of their game to make sure that all of you clients feel safe, and you guys also at the same time feeling safe. You're going to have an amazing experience at any of the resorts that we have, because we know the importance of traveling coming back, and it is coming back. So please reach out to your travel agent, and especially to cruise holidays, and we can't wait to continue to see you here in the destination.
Well, thank you so much. Hey, and Francisco, I'm going to be joining you there soon, actually. And that's one of the things I wanted to mention in closing is that we have got a hosted trip departing on November the 12th. You can either choose a 5, 6, or 7 night, or actually you could even do shorter if you needed to, whatever works for your schedule. We'll be staying at El Dorado Seaside
Here
in
behind
your
me.
oceanfront swim-up room. So you might be able to see me right there waving back behind your right ear there. So we'd love to have you join us. We negotiated some incredible rates, very special deal for our clients. So please let us know if you can join us. We tell you all about it. And then also just wanted to mention that in light of the extravaganza that we're hosting this week, a lot of these resorts have offered a very exclusive specials for our clients. If you'd like to know more about that, let us know. Cruise Holidays, in addition to the specials, are offering our little extra bonus perks. So for the next week, that'll be offered, and we'd love to tell you more about that. And just as far as closing goes, we just thank you guys so much for being with us. It's just so good to see your faces and just see that the industry is rebounding stronger than ever. I do feel like the all-inclusive market, you guys have really just done a phenomenal job of making travel safe again. So we can't thank you enough for that. And if you have any questions or want to reach out to us, you can call us at 816-741-7417, or feel free to email us if you'd prefer that. Our email address is recep, as in receptionist, spelled RECEP, at chkc.travel. So thank you again for joining us. Talk to you soon.